Among all the wonders of the ancient world, the Pyramids of Giza undoubtedly evoke the greatest intrigue and admiration. These majestic pyramids constitute one of the most astonishing architectural achievements of both ancient Egypt and the world at large. Positioned on the western bank of the Nile, near present-day Cairo, they stand as enduring symbols of the civilization's ingenuity and authority. The complex encompasses three principal pyramids: the Great Pyramid of Khufu, the Pyramid of Khafre, and the Pyramid of Menkaure, along with secondary pyramids, mortuary temples, and the iconic Sphinx. Constructed in the 3rd millennium BCE, this monumental site served as a focal point where religious, political, and artistic aspirations merged to honor the pharaohs, secure their passage to immortality, and assert their dominance in the eyes of both their people and adversaries. The decision to build the pyramids on the Giza Plateau was deliberate. While several necropolises existed along the Nile Valley, Giza was uniquely suited due to its solid bedrock, composed of limestone layers capable of bearing the massive weight of these structures. Additionally, its proximity to the Nile facilitated the transportation of construction materials, such as high-quality limestone from Tura and granite from Aswan. At the time, an ancient Nile canal ran near the site, allowing large stone blocks to be ferried directly to the construction grounds, aiding the vast labor force involved in the project. The evolution of pyramids can be traced back to earlier funerary practices, progressing from rectangular brick or stone tombs known as mastabas to stepped pyramid designs, and ultimately to smooth-sided pyramids. For the Egyptians, the pharaoh was more than a sovereign ruler. He was a divine entity responsible for upholding cosmic order, known as Ma'at. The construction of these monumental tombs was meant to ensure the pharaoh's ascension to the realm of the gods after death, while simultaneously reinforcing the continuity of universal balance. Each pyramid aimed to exalt both the earthly authority and the divine nature of the ruler. The Great Pyramid of Khufu, the largest and oldest of the Giza pyramids, originally stood at an awe-inspiring height of approximately 146 meters, though its outer casing has since eroded, slightly reducing its stature. The Pyramid of Khafre, though slightly shorter, appears more imposing due to its elevated position and the remnants of its original polished limestone casing at the top. The Pyramid of Menkaure, the smallest of the three, is distinguished by its refined structure and the incorporation of granite blocks at its base. The construction of each pyramid demanded extraordinary precision in geometry and astronomy, with the faces meticulously aligned to the cardinal points and the base designed with remarkable regularity. While the exact techniques employed remain partially speculative, scholars suggest that Egyptians used ramps, wooden sledges, and rollers to transport the colossal stone blocks, with thousands of laborers organized into teams to execute this Herculean task. More than 30,000 Egyptians took part in the vast operation, fulfilling various roles on the massive construction site surrounding the pyramids. Beyond the manual laborers tasked with carving and moving the stone blocks, the workforce included architects overseeing the project, physicians tending to workers' health and performing basic medical procedures, and artists responsible for embellishing sarcophagi, interior walls, and decorative elements. This meticulous division of labor reflected an advanced level of organization, essential for maintaining efficiency amidst the intense demands of construction in the harsh desert climate. Contrary to long-held assumptions, recent archaeological evidence suggests that slaves did not solely build the pyramids. Studies of worker settlements and burial sites indicate that most laborers were seasonal farmers, drafted during the annual Nile inundation, when agricultural work was impossible. Many of these workers resided in dedicated labor villages near the construction site, where they received subsistence and care in exchange for their efforts. Skilled specialists such as masons and carpenters were likely employed for their expertise, enjoying social recognition and benefits far removed from the historical notion of mass enslavement. Historical findings suggest that the completion of the Giza pyramid complex spanned approximately 200 years, with successive rulers adding new structures, including additional pyramids, temples, and annexes. Over time, construction techniques were refined, reducing structural weaknesses and improving the transport of stone blocks. This extensive endeavor, unfolding over 2 centuries, not only showcases Egyptian civilization's engineering prowess and discipline, but also underscores the large-scale social collaboration fostered by sophisticated administrative and organizational methods. The pyramids were primarily constructed using local limestone extracted from quarries near the Giza Plateau. This durable yet easily workable material formed the core of the structures. For the smooth outer casing, superior quality limestone from Tura was used, which gave the pyramids a brilliant, almost reflective appearance under the sun. Meanwhile, granite from Aswan was reserved for interior chambers, sarcophagi, and final changes, such as the lower section of the Pyramid of Menkaure and the massive columns within the mortuary temples. The process of quarrying and shaping these stones required sophisticated techniques, including copper tools, dolerite hammers, and quartz sand abrasives for fine polishing. To lift and maneuver the multi-ton blocks, researchers hypothesize that workers employed ramps that ascended alongside the pyramid's growing structure. These blocks were then pushed or hauled on wooden sledges in an intricately planned logistical effort that necessitated careful management of resources, sustenance, and even medical attention, as indicated by archaeological remains of settlements near the construction site. Surrounding each principal pyramid, mortuary temples and processional causeways connected to valley temples, where offerings and rituals were conducted to honor the deceased ruler. These ceremonies reinforced the belief that the pharaoh attained divine status in the afterlife. Adjacent to the Pyramid of Khafre stands the formidable Great Sphinx, a colossal sculpture hewn from bedrock, depicting a lion's body with a human head, likely representing the pharaoh as an eternal guardian of the necropolis. The Sphinx further underscores the sacred nature of the site and exemplifies the craftsmanship that produced monuments of enduring symbolic and artistic significance. Despite enduring for thousands of years, the pyramids have not been impervious to damage. Natural forces, such as desert winds and fluctuations in groundwater levels, have contributed to erosion and instability. Additionally, stone removal for subsequent constructions, particularly during the Middle Ages and early Islamic periods, stripped much of the pyramid's original limestone casing. In the 12th century, under Islamic rule, historical accounts suggest that Al-Aziz Uthman, son of Saladin and ruler of the Ayyubid dynasty, sought to demolish the Giza pyramids, considering them relics of pagan idolatry. He directed significant financial and human resources toward dismantling them, primarily targeting the smallest, the Pyramid of Menkaure, believing it to be the most feasible to destroy. However, the extraordinary resilience of the structure rendered his efforts futile. Although some stones were removed, the pyramid remained largely intact, and the costly endeavor was soon abandoned. Although some stones were removed and slight damage was inflicted on the structure, the demolition efforts soon proved too costly and impractical, prompting Al-Aziz to abandon the attempt. For centuries, the Great Pyramid of Cheops stood as the tallest human-made structure in the world. Originally reaching a height of approximately 146 meters, it retained this distinction over 3 millennia, enduring various historical eras and cultural changes. It was not until 1311, when the construction of Lincoln Cathedral in England was completed, that the pyramid was finally surpassed in height. The surge of tourism in the 19th and 20th centuries necessitated preservation efforts, leading to protective legislation and restoration initiatives. Today, archaeologists and engineers are working to mitigate threats, such as structural cracks and rising groundwater levels, which jeopardize the stability of internal chambers and subterranean passageways. As the sole surviving wonder of the ancient world, the Pyramids of Giza occupy a unique place in the collective human imagination. For centuries, scholars, explorers, and tourists have marveled at their immense scale, sparking theories ranging from mystical interpretations to speculations about extraterrestrial involvement. While some of these ideas are fantastical, they reflect the enduring allure these monuments hold due to their complexity and grandeur. To attribute the pyramids solely to extraterrestrial beings, however, is to underestimate humanity's capacity for problem-solving and ingenuity. As an old Arab proverb states, "Time laughs at all things, but pyramids laugh at time."